Adidas's CEO Bjorn Gulden has said that Trump's tariffs are about to make everything in America more expensive. Is anybody in the sneaker collab game doing it better than Corteiz right now? We're going to talk about their latest Honey Blacks release today. And we've got some exciting new sneakers, including Action Bronson's 992s, as well as another collaboration between Nike and Sacai. But let's kick things off with Trump's tariffs. Now, I'm not trying to politicize sneakers here. The last time I spoke about tariffs potentially affecting sneaker prices, some of you guys just jumped all over me like I was trying to run some kind of political narrative or anoint myself some kind of expert economist. No, I'm just reporting the bloody news. So according to Bjorn Gulden, who is the CEO of Adidas and is probably in a somewhat informed position when it comes to forecasting revenues and operating profits, as well as balancing them off against what's happening in the world economically, he is saying that since we currently cannot produce almost any of our products in the US, these higher tariffs will eventually cause higher costs for all our products for the US market. We have all parts of the organization involved and will do everything we can to assure that our US retail partners and our US consumers will get the Adidas product they want and to the best possible price. So in short, Adidas products are going to get more expensive. And I know some of you guys out there are going to be thinking, well, who cares? I don't buy Adidas. My sneaker collection is comprised mainly of Jordans and Dunks. And the reality is, if Adidas are saying this, it's only a matter of time before Nike say the same thing. And so the reality that I think a lot of us have been kind of hoping wouldn't come to pass seems to be coming to pass now as companies start to look at their Q1 reports and start to forecast for the rest of the fiscal year ahead. So the question is, are you guys perturbed? Are you bothered? Do you expect to see your spending habits with these sneaker brands decreasing or increasing, staying the same? Feel free to let me know without getting too upset in the comments. Right, so is Corteiz the hottest sneaker collaborator right now? If you are just pointing to the products, the portfolio of goods that have been created, I think on their own, no. But if you're talking about the energy and the hype and the furore that these guys are creating around the marketing, around the build-up, around their activations, around their drops, I think these guys are unmatched. Last week we saw huge crowds turn out for the Honey Blacks release in London. They had this wicked activation downtown right by Tower Bridge that had bare people showing up to try to get their hands on the kicks. And no less than 24 hours later, they curated this really interesting experience in New York where they converted a high school in Harlem into a Honey Blacks high school. They sent out coordinates to New Yorkers to show up to a spot, to get a number, to be allowed to jump on a school bus, to essentially be ferried to the high school where you could buy the shoes as well as some associated gear. And of course, the amount of people that showed up far exceeded the amount of slots that were available for people to get on the bus. And so a little bit of chaos ensued. Some elbows were flared, some tempers were raised, and some grown men were seen to be made looking a little bit silly as they got a little bit physical over some all black and yellow Air Max 95s. Now, I personally think that Corteiz, when it comes to bringing this energy around their releases and their activations, as well as the drops, are unmatched right now. And if any of you guys out there can point to another collaborator that is bringing about this type of energy in the streets, outside, not online, let me know. Now, this particular shoe is actually going to be releasing tomorrow on the Corteiz website, Wednesday the 30th. They're running around 180 odd pounds, around 200 odd bucks, and these guys are shipping internationally. So if you did want to come up on a pair of these, you're going to have a chance tomorrow night on the Corteiz website. I don't think these are going to be releasing through any other retail partners. I think this is going to be a little bit like the Huaraches, exclusively through Corteiz on the website, and then later on a more limited release on the Nike sneakers app. We've had probably our best detailed look yet at the shattered backboard Air Jordan 1s. Obviously the 2015 shattered backboard quality is kind of the gold standard when it comes to the quality on Air Jordan, save very limited releases and runs like they had on the bins. But I did see Mr. Unloved Ones, who is probably one of the most authoritative figures on IG when it comes to all things Jordan 1, talk about the 2025 shattered backboards in better terms, quality-wise, compared to the 2015s, which I found really interesting. And this is a guy that presumably has both pairs in hands to compare. So for anybody out there that was wondering whether or not the 2025 shattered backboards are going to be able to hold a candle to the 2015s, it seems like they're going to be able to do so. We've had our first look at the Action Bronson 992, and we saw this model creep up in his pop-up store down in New York. Action Bronson stuff is kind of polarizing. He's one of these collaborative partners that people either really love or people just can't get on board with. And this particular 992 is in this mainly brown tonal upper with some orange mesh underlays, and then you've got the blue accents on the tongue, blacked out midsole, which is kind of cool. They really have the New York Knicks type of vibe about them. Very on point color blocking wise with what we've seen from Action Bronson so far. Are they quite basic? Yeah. Are they just flashy enough? Yeah, I actually quite like these. Although I don't have any Action Bronson sneakers up to this point, I am a fan, and with a easier to get, I'd probably have a pair or two in my collection. Right, let's talk a little bit about some releases that are upcoming that you guys might want to keep an eye out for. Now, the first shoe I want to talk about is this crazy expensive Nike golf shoe that Nike are bringing out in collaboration with Justin Timberlake, who, if you didn't know, is a very keen golfer. Now, if you guys don't already know, I have started a second channel which I'd love for you guys to go and subscribe to. It's called Jordan Golf TV. It's all about golf, man. I'm pretty much doing the same thing that I'm doing with sneakers, but talking about golf. So this particular shoe is the Nike Tour Victory 4, which is the same shoe that Rory McIlroy was wearing recently on his path to winning the green jacket. And this Tour Victory 4 is made in Italy, limited to 1,981 pairs, and is going for, get this, $500, 460 pounds. So a crazy amount to pay for some golf shoes. Does the quality look good? It does look really good. Have these been made in China and then assembled in Italy? I don't know. So these are going to sell out. These are going to be popular, and they are dropping on May the 1st. In the US, they're going to be available at select Nike golf boutiques, as well as the Nike app. Here in the UK, the Nike app, as well as I think Trendy Golf and Golf Poser. But because they're so limited, they're going to be pretty hard to get your hands on. There is also another really dope golf shoe that is supposed to be releasing sometime this week. This is the Leon Dore FootJoy Premier Series Field LX, which is inspired by the Concord 11s. So this is an absolute beauty of a golf shoe, inspired by one of the best sneakers of all time. 300 pounds, and there is no firm fixed release dates that I'm seeing at the moment. The rumors are they're supposed to be coming out maybe in the next few days, maybe also on May the 1st or May the 2nd, I'm not sure. But if you wanted to get your hands on these, I think they're beautiful. Then you just want to be hip to Leon Dore's socials, because they'll probably link the drop through them. In terms of other big sneaker releases that are set to go down imminently, you have the Travis Scott Jumpman Jacks, the bright cactus colorway, which I think have pretty much run their course now with regard to raffle releases. They are releasing tomorrow on the Nike Sneakers app in a draw, and from what I've seen, pairs of these are going to be quite limited. They are also coming out in kids sizes as well as infants. And you guys might also want to keep an eye out for some raffles for the Air Max 95 pink foams, which are set to release on May the 2nd, but are currently being released via raffle through select retailers. Right, so back to the sneaker news. We've seen Sacai get back into the fold with Nike again on a collaboration that is set to release on May the 9th. And this is on a pretty interesting sneaker that has a pretty interesting name. It's called the Zegamadome, which is a pretty cool model. And it's kind of like a hybrid sneaker based on the Zegama. You've got 3 different colorways: an all black pair with a little bit of white on the midsole, an all white pair with a bit of a gum sole, and then this black grayscale with yellow accents. They've got the Zoom X foam, they've got the Vibram outsole. It's kind of like a trail shoe. It kind of has a utility feel about them. Yeah, I don't know. Sacai have kind of fallen off since their first collaboration back in like 2017 with a few flops. And so having let that dust settle a little bit, they're coming back onto the scene with a bit of a fresh sneaker, with a fresh silhouette in a time where styles are kind of different. Are these going to be well received? Will these sell out? Will these be hype? I'm not so sure. I kind of feel like these will probably end up sitting, to be honest. I don't know. I think when it comes to like sneakerheads and Sacai, that relationship is done. Comme des Garçons are celebrating their 5th year anniversary of being in Osaka with a collaboration with Bathing Ape, and they're doing it on the Bapester, and this is pretty much textbook Comme des Garçons collaboration design right here. All white colorway with some big Comme des Garçons text up the side. This is Jound-esque levels of design. It's not going to stop these from being popular. It's not going to stop these from being expensive. I think these are releasing in Osaka on the 29th, and they are available online via raffle. Unheard of is closing out the Grandma's Couch series with a 2.0. It's a special edition sneaker upcoming for Mother's Day, and this particular release honors Unheard of founders Phil Lipschutz's grandmother Naomi, who sadly passed away last year at the age of 100 shortly after the debut of the Grandma's Couch Rivalry Low 1.0, which was a big hit with sneakerheads all over the shop. Now, this particular collaboration is beautiful. It's got some really personal touches to Naomi, including some text that she had written. It's got this really nice floral pattern on the upper. It is a really heartfelt, story-laden pair, and yeah, there's only going to be 600 pairs of these. Each one comes packaged in a wooden box inspired by vintage makeup and jewelry boxes. May the 10th is the release, and this is going to be an exclusive release to Unheard of, in-store only is what I'm hearing. And that is it for today's sneaky updates, guys. Good luck if you're going after the Travis Scotts, or if you're going after the Honey Blacks, or you're going after the Pink Foams, or you are trying to pick up those ALD FootJoys, or maybe even those Justin Timberlake Nike golf shoes at $500, man. That is crazy. Don't forget to go and give me a follow over on Jordan Golf TV, my second channel. Really would appreciate your support over there, guys, and enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you on the next video. Take care for now, and peace.